Hi, this is the Black Mormon Reader. Now we'll be reading verses from the 19th chapter of Alma. And it came to pass that after 2 days and 2 nights they were about to take his body, the body of Lamoni, and put it in a casket. Now the queen, having heard of Alma, sent for him. Alma did as he was commanded, and went unto the queen, and asked what did she want. She said unto him, I would that ye go in and see my husband, for he has been laying up on his bed for the space of 2 days and 2 nights, and some say he's dead, and some say he is not. And Alma knew that the king Lamoni was under the power of God. He knew that the dark veil of unbelief was being cast away from his mind. Therefore he said to the queen, he is not dead, but he sleepeth in God, and on tomorrow he shall rise. And Alma said unto her, Believest thou this? And she said unto him, I have had no witnesses save thy word. Nevertheless, I believe it according as thy word. And Alma said unto her, Blessed art thou, because of thy exceeding faith. And it came to pass that she watched over the bed of her husband from that time until that time on tomorrow. And it came to pass that he arose according to the words of Alma. And as he rose, he stretched forth his hand and said, Blessed be the name of God, and blessed art thou. For as sure as thou livest, behold, I have seen my Redeemer, and he shall come forth and be born of a woman, and he shall redeem all mankind. And he sunk again with joy, and the queen also sunk down, being overpowered by the Spirit. And Alma fell upon his knees, and Alma fell upon his knees and began to pour out his soul in prayer and thanksgiving to God for what had been done for his brethren. And he was so overpowered with joy that he shrunk down to the floor. So you got all these 3 people, they done collapsed on the floor. Now when the servants of the king had seen what had fallen, they also began to cry unto God, for the fear of the Lord had come down upon them. And it came to pass that they did call on the name of the Lord in their might, until even they all had fallen to the earth, save it was for one, a Lamanish woman, she having been converted unto the Lord for many years on account of a remarkable vision of her father, thus having been converted to the Lord, and never having made it known. Therefore, when she saw that all the servants of Lamoni had fallen to the floor, and also the queen, the king, and Alma, she knew that it was the power of God. Therefore she ran forth from the house, making it known unto the people, and they began to assemble themselves in the house of Lamoni, which was probably a kingly palace, house of the king. And they were astonished, and they beheld the king and the queen and their servants prostrate upon the earth. Now the people began to murmur among themselves, some saying that it was a great evil that had come upon them or upon the king and his house, because they had suffered that a Nephite should remain in the land. And those who also were rebuked, and they were also rebuked by those men who had stood at the waters of Sebus and scattered the flock. they were angry with Ammon because of the number which he had slain of their brethren. Now one of them, whose brother had been slain, drew his sword and went forth that he might let it fall on Ammon and slay him. But as he lifted the sword to smite him, behold, he fell dead. And it came to pass that when the multitude beheld that the man had fallen dead, who lifted the sword to slay Ammon, fear came upon them all, and they durst not put forth their hand to touch him. They began to marvel again among themselves as what could be the cause of this great power, what all these things could mean. And it came to pass among them, many among them who said Ammon was a great spirit, or that he had been sent by the great spirit. Others rebuked them all, saying that he was a monster who had been sent from the Nephites to torment them. And thus the contention began to be exceedingly sharp among them. And the woman, whose name was Amish, this was the woman that told everybody, she came in and took the queen by the hand, that perhaps she might raise her from the ground. And as soon as she touched her hand, she rose and stood up on her feet and cried with a loud voice, saying, O blessed Jesus, who has saved me from an awful hell, O blessed God, have mercy upon this people. And when she had done this, she took the king's, Lamoni's hand, and behold, he rose and he stood to his feet. And he began immediately seeing the contention among his people, and went forth and began to rebuke them and to teach them the words which he had heard from the mouth of Ammon. And as many as heard his words believed, they were converted unto the Lord. But there were many among them who would not hear his word, therefore they went away. When Ammon rose, he also administered unto them, and also did all the servants of Lamoni, and they did all declare unto the people the selfsame, that their hearts had been changed, that they had no desire to do evil. Many did declare unto the people that they had seen angels, and had conversed with angels, and thus they had told them the things of God and of his righteousness. And many that did believe in their words, and as many as did believe were baptized, and they became a righteous people, and they did establish a church among them. And thus the work of the Lord did commence among the Lamanites. And on that note, this is the Black Mormon Reader. Until next time.